Here it is. Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the Lego Icons theme. We're looking at every set that is expected to retire here at the end of 2025. There are 10 in total. I'm going to go through all of them, and just like I've been doing in the last few videos, ranking them based on the quality and quantity of the reviews across a bunch of different retailers. So in the future, I plan to do this with every Lego theme. I'm going to go through each of them one by one, eventually going through every set that's going to be retiring at the end of the year. So if you're interested, please subscribe for that. And if you appreciate the research, please leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. And just like usual, I'll be giving you my top 3 for investing at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's get started. All right, we're starting it off with the bottom rank set here. This is the Land Rover Defender 90, set number 10317, $240 MSRP, 2,336 pieces. It had an aggregate review score of 4.54. That's across Amazon, Walmart, and Lego.com. This was released in April of 2023, so it's about a 2.5-year shelf life. So the reviews on this set were not good, and the main reason for that, a lot of people were saying it was kind of flimsy as a build. It didn't stick together very well, and there were also a lot of complaints about the coloring. Apparently some of the pieces didn't really match. That's at least what the review said. In terms of investing, I don't know about this set. I mean, it's like I said, there will probably be some people looking to get it after it retires. There's probably not going to be that much supply because I don't think a lot of investors are going to go deep with this one. It does have some really good details here too, with these gas tanks and the fire extinguisher. I like the jack. That's a cool little detail. You know, let's look at these. Yeah, here's all the cool little details that it comes with. So I do think there's going to be some people who like the set and want it, but probably not one of the top sets for investing anyway. Up at number 9 is this one, the Vespa, another vehicle, Vespa 125. This one came out a while ago. This came out in March of 2022. So it's $100 for 1,106 pieces. The aggregate review score was 4.62. I will point out, so here I'm looking at Brickset. It does say it's a Lego exclusive. It's not. It probably was when it first came out. There's a lot of these sets that are going to say that because a lot of the times the Icon sets will debut as a Lego exclusive and then will eventually go wide and be available at other retailers. So I have kind of the same thoughts as I do about the Land Rover. You know, it's a cool vehicle, not really, you know, my taste. So I wouldn't know too much about it. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people that interested in this. I did see the Luca movie where the Vespa was like the coolest thing to those kids, but I just don't know if it's going to have really mass appeal. There might be some demand, probably won't be a ton of supply, so it could do okay. Next up is this one, the Medieval Town Square. I do like this one a little bit. This is good. It's got a lot of good things going for it here. Big set. Over 3,000 pieces, 3,304 pieces for $230, which is a pretty good price per piece there. A lot of minifigures, a lot of cool storytelling and detail. So people who are interested in medieval stuff, which goes well with castle stuff. So I think there are going to be some people wanting this one. It had an aggregate review score of 4.64, 350 total reviews. So not a ton of total reviews, but then again, I think this one might have started out, probably started out as a Lego exclusive as well. It's not anymore. I did, out of curiosity, go ahead and take a look at the camel on this, which is looking good. We've seen a couple spikes here, especially at the end of last year, around the holidays. Got up to about $350 for a brief period. Seen one little blip here, but most of this is underneath the MSRP. And this, if you don't know, this blue line is third-party sellers on Amazon. So most of them have had to sell it for less than MSRP, but it did go up a little bit during the holidays. So it might be okay. Next up is the Jazz Club. This is one of 2 modulars that are retiring this year. Set number 10312 came out in January of 2023. So it will have a 3-year shelf life, which is pretty short for a modular. $230 MSRP. 2,899 pieces, had an aggregate review score of 4.66, so just edged out the last 2. 671 total reviews on this one. Again, it says Lego exclusive. It's not anymore, but I think it did start out that way. I built this one myself, really liked it, really liked every single modular I've ever built, and I've built quite a few of them at this point. The great thing about the modulars is just all the little details, right? You get those stained glass windows. You get this nice like rooftop garden for the pizza place that's next to the jazz club. Minifigures are good. They're city minifigures, so they're probably not going to increase in value too much, but they are unique, I believe. And it's got a lot. Like I said, these are all printed pieces. There are no stickers in the set, so it's a good set. The modulars are historically some of the best investing sets. So if you look at the older ones specifically, so this Cafe Corner, retired in 2009, went from $140 to over $1,300. And this is brick set, which is usually a little low. Same thing, Green Grocer is over $1,000. This Market Street was $90, now it's $1,100. And then as we get closer towards recent times, it starts to dip off a little bit. Detective's Office did pretty well here. Brick Bank, I know, is a very popular one, and that was $170. Now it's $400. So did well, but nothing even close to what the ones from a decade ago were doing. No modulars retired last year, but 3 of them retired in 2023. One of them was Assembly Square. This is low. I actually just checked this on Amazon recently. This was a bigger set. This is my favorite modular set, the Assembly Square. It was a $300 set. So that one, it looks like it's not doing as well, but that one also had a 7-year shelf life. If you go down here to the other 2 that retired in 2023, the Bookshop had a 4-year shelf life, 200 to 202, and then the Police Station has done very well. Again, this is low. And a key thing to see here is this one had a 3-year shelf life. So does the Jazz Club, which is an interesting thing. Up next, we have Santa's Post Office. So there are 2 of the Winter Village collection sets retiring this year. This is one of them. Generally, these sets have kind of gone like clockwork. They come out in September or October. They are out on the shelves for a little over 2 years, basically 3 holiday seasons, and then they retire, and then Rego comes out with a new one every year. They kind of like the modulars. These Winter Village sets were pretty good investments way back when. If you look, even going back, so the Winter Village Bakery here, this was a $55 set. Now it goes for $281. This one, the Winter Village Post Office, went from $70 to $440, but that was in 2012. So sets, and I think the word kind of got out on these. As you look in more recent times, they have not been growing nearly as much. Santa's Visit, 100 to 109, and then last year the Holiday Main Street retired, 100 to 102. So as more investors have come in, the supply on these has increased, and so they're just not increasing in value the same way they used to. This one is an interesting one. So you saw one of the best performers was a post office set. So that's interesting. That was like a village post office. This is Santa's Post Office. It does come with a Santa, and you get some elves. And it would probably go really well with the delivery truck that's also retiring at the end of this year. And you get a hot air balloon, which is not something you would expect to see, but makes a lot of sense if you think about it. And this one also had a shorter shelf life than most of the other ones because it's only going to came out last year, in October 2024. So this one will only have 2 holiday seasons. I think the reason that Lego is retiring this one a little bit earlier, I think it's supposed to go from 100 to 130. So I think they're probably trying to get the $100 sets off the shelves. But that could be a good thing for these because it increases the perception of the value. If the other ones are 130 and this one was 100, then I could see this, you could see it growing to 130, especially with 1,400 pieces. The Winter Village sets this year are interesting. We've got 2 of them. I think I'm going to be watching both of them. Next up is the Blacktron Renegade. This one had 1,151 pieces, 4.72 average rating, only has 104 reviews. I think part of that is, again, it says it's a Lego exclusive, and it just came out actually at the beginning of this year, January 2025. So this is only going to have a 1-year shelf life. This one just doesn't seem to have like a high demand. It's one of those nostalgia sets which have kind of been so-so in recent times. And this one sort of hits on a period in Lego that was not as... So there's a lot of nostalgia for classic space. there's a lot of nostalgia for some of the sets that came out in the 2000s. This was sort of an in-between period where Lego might not have been as popular. There are definitely some people who are really love the Blacktron sets, but the original Blacktron sets, I mean, but I don't think there's not as much demand as you might see for some of the older nostalgia sets. Reviews on this are kind of mixed. It offers a lot of options in building it in different ways, as you can see here. I don't know, we'll see on this one. This one's a kind of a mystery to me. Short shelf life is good. Don't know if the demand's gonna be there. So we can take a look at the camel on this one. It has never been out of stock on Amazon, not once. But it just became available at Amazon, looks like in April. It has never gone on sale either. Next up, we have this one, the Over the Moon. This is the Pharrell Williams set. Very unique set. I like the rocket ship with this multicolor blast off. You get a ton of minifigure heads. This whole smorgasbord of minifigure heads, and you do get 2 actual minifigures that are both unique. You get Pharrell Williams and this person, Helen. It's a very interesting set, very unique set. Interesting box art with Pharrell Williams on the box. I don't know if the demand is there. It is. So it says Lego exclusive. It's not Lego exclusive anymore, like a lot of these sets I've been talking about, but it is exclusive to Target. You can also find it at Target, but not any other retailer. That was one of the reasons it only had 110 reviews, which sounds low, but when you think about it, it's only those 2 retailers were counted. So again, this is a set maybe could do well. I don't know. It's a big mystery to me. Next up, it's the second of the Winter Village sets. The normal 2 years and change shelf life, $100 MSRP, just like the Winter Village sets have been for the last few years. This is a nice set, the Alpine Lodge. I like it a lot. I like the look of it a lot. I like this cabin. Ton of really good detail, good minifigures. There's a little outhouse, which is funny. Here's a picture of the outhouse, and you can see also you get the snow on the trees. Moving on, I've talked about this set in the past, the Lion Knight's Castle. On one of my last videos, somebody said this is the best set Lego has ever made. Just looking at it, I can tell it's one of the best castle sets Lego has done in over a decade. And you get how many minifigures? 22 minifigures, which is nuts. 4,500 pieces. It'll have been out, so August 2022. So good long shelf life on this one, but the reviews are great. 405 reviews. So this one is genuinely a Lego exclusive. And then the #1 set, this is the second modular that is retiring here at the end of this year, the Boutique Hotel. This is the one that came out in 2022. So this one will have a 4-year shelf life, a little bit longer than the Jazz Club. This was also the 15-year anniversary of the modular collections. We have seen some pretty good discounts on this one in the past few years. It did have 1,348 reviews. So second most reviews on this list. The only set with more reviews was the Vespa, which was out longer and is a lot cheaper. Something about this one just screams zombie stock to me. When you see Amazon put a set like this on good discounts, especially like flash discounts around Prime Day, I've seen that happen. I saw that happen with the Medieval Blacksmith. And of course that one had almost a year of zombie stock. So this just, I don't know, it feels like there's gonna be zombie stock. There's definitely gonna be demand. There's gonna be demand for a long time, but it could take a while to grow. Now, as promised, these are my top 3 that I am looking at for investing. So the first set I'm looking at, and I think this is gonna surprise a lot of people. I think this is a major sleeper, and I'm gonna explain why. This is the Alpine Lodge. So I do think the Winter Village collection has been oversupplied in the past. I think we're getting to a point now where there's gonna be a little bit of a backlash to that because investors are not gonna be investing in these sets as much because they haven't done as well. And so we might start to see supply dip off and maybe return back to when these sets were doing very well. And the reason I like this one, based mostly on this is the camel chart for last holiday season. And of course, this is a set you would need to sell around the holidays, but you can see what happened when it went out of stock around the holidays. So this blue line is third-party sellers, it got up to almost $180. So if you can get this on a discount, the average, the new Holiday Winter Village sets coming out are going to be $130, most likely. By the way, this was available at other retailers, probably for MSRP while this was going on. So I don't think a lot of investors are going to get in on this one. And so that's why it's my number 3. Moving on, number 2, and I've talked about this set a lot before, Lion Knight's Castle. Again, this is kind of your classic set. The big issue with it is it's a $400 MSRP. So you can buy this set on Amazon. It's not an official listing. You can only get it from third-party sellers. And of course, like I said, Lion Knight's Castle is LEGO exclusive. It's the only set that is genuinely still LEGO exclusive. It has been LEGO exclusive its whole shelf life. So if you want to get it on Amazon, you got to pay a premium, and you can see people are willing to pay a premium for this one. It has gotten as high as $600. Generally, it's around $550, $560. You need to sell it for about $600, I think, to make a profit on it, because it's going to be expensive to ship. And whatever platform you use to sell it online is going to take a hefty chunk. They're going to take a percentage. I think this one could end up doing pretty well, so it's definitely one I'm watching. My number 1 set is this one, the Jazz Club. I like this one a lot. It has 3-year shelf life. It's a modular building. I showed you what the modular buildings can do. Like I said, I built this set myself. Maybe I'm a little biased because I really liked building it. If I look at the camel chart on this, you can see 2 things that make me excited about this set. Number 1, it goes out of stock a lot. And when it does, it goes up in price pretty much every time. You see a couple times where it dips below the $230 MSRP, but you also see it getting as high up here as $400. And you know, even not when it's the holidays, you're looking at $320, $280. So this is while it's still available at other retailers. This feels like it's going to go out of stock early. That's sort of a wild prediction. It feels like it's going to sell out before the end of the year, and sets that sell out before the end of the year tend to do very well because investors miss out on them. So I think this one, you know, I'm going to be targeting this for Insiders Weekend when I can get like some GWPs and some other stuff to try to get a discount on it, because it just feels like this one is gonna really knock it out of the park. But as always, I can be wrong. There's always risk. This is not financial advice, so you know, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. I've mostly done well, but I have been wrong on a few sets before. So anyway, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe if you appreciate this research and me cluing you in on some of my secrets here. So thanks, and I'll catch you next time.